Hey everybody, it's Caslo, and we are back. We are taking a look at the Pandæmonium raid story in this video today. I've got highlights of my playthrough. None of the actual fights, those are in their own separate videos, but just the story and a little bit of my speculation going on throughout. So give them a watch, and I will see you at the end of the video. Which brings us to the matter at hand. Not long after the Exodus was declared, we recovered an unusual crystal shard during a routine observation. It appeared before us suddenly, as if propelled to the surface by some unknown force. We found that it possessed an ethereal density that exceeds that of normal crystals by orders of magnitude, and its shape resembles nothing which occurs in the natural world. It was made, not formed. Here's the crystal in question. Memory abides within this crystal. Perhaps a more engaging use of your time with us would be for you to take up that crystal. Indeed, there are memories stored within. They may reveal themselves to you upon contact. Anyone? Message. Come. Pandæmonium. Please. Faces. Grave threat. Star. In danger. As for you, Castle, there's a person I would have you seek. The one who has delivered so dire a warning. Your story tells us that this crystal could very well have been made by one of the ancients. If that is the case, then discerning the nature of this pandemonium would require a trip far into the past, to an era before the Sundering. So I ask you now, return to the past, find out what and where pandemonium is, and if we need be concerned by this message. If receives this message. Come. Pandæmonium. Quickly. Did we just get knocked the fuck out? Ugh. Think we bumped into somebody? That is Elidibus. He does look like a child compared to everybody else. Confused boy, there we go. Could it be? No, of course not. Apologies. For the briefest moment, I thought you to be a dear friend of mine. I realize now that such a notion is preposterous. Oh, and he is small. You told me a falling star would appear before me, and I suppose you must be it. Truth be told, I did not expect the expression to be so literal. I shall pry no further, for I am well aware that we all have secrets we must keep. However, if I may, I would very much like to take a look at this crystal of yours. Fascinating. While I cannot say much as to what it contains, it is clear that there are memories stirring within. Memories that speak of something gravely amiss in Pandæmonium. The facility extends beneath Elpis and is overseen by the words of La Habrea. Houses those creations that are highly valued as research subjects, and highly dangerous to the star. Naturally, it is strictly guarded and under constant surveillance. Several days ago, however, an unnatural shift in the flow of its surrounding aether was detected. Soon thereafter, all communications from Pandæmonium ceased. I am here as representative of an organization that works directly with the Convocation, and have been tasked with investigating this incident. Originally, I had planned to conduct my investigation with the friend I mentioned earlier. He had also noticed the anomaly near Pandæmonium, so it only seemed natural that we should investigate it together. However, he eventually decided it would be unwise for us both to go. If two members of our organization were seen poking our heads about restricted facilities, it could raise questions, you see. I decided to go alone, but he left me with these words. Fear not, for in my absence a star shall fall before you. So the question is, who was the person? For all intents and purposes, the place is a dungeon. Perhaps such a comparison arouses frightful imagery, but Pandæmonium is a frightful place. I hope I am not overstepping my boundaries by asking, but you seem to be quite familiar with Master La Habrea. Do you know him? Know him? We've met. With that, we are free to make our way to Pandæmonium. The newest that will take us there is on the eastern bank of Lethe. Let's delay no further. Is this the one that was run down? In any case, let us be off. Truth be told, this will be my first time beholding the fabled Pandæmonium with my own eyes. Here's to a new adventure, eh? I wonder if the bosses in Pandæmonium are going to be some of the mobs from FF2's Pandæmonium. That would be great. It's quite a difference in settings here. The magic I wove upon entering requires my constant awareness. As to say, if we are forced to fight, I cannot risk joining you in battle. Should I lose focus, Pandæmonium's protections will rapidly crumble before the force assailing them. Thank you for offering your help so willingly. If weapons are drawn, I hope to be able to lend at least a touch of magical support. Creation magics do have their uses in that regard. I had it in mind to use your Aether as a basis of illusory allies that will fight at your side. Perhaps 7 shall do. Not exactly an army, but by the looks of you, a formidable band nonetheless. So our teammates that we get through the Duty Finder are just illusions created by Themis here. Caslow, he stirs. I am Eric Thonios, Order of Asphodelos, Pandæmonion's highest lair, and the place we're in now. One must wonder why you were so desperate to keep us out. What is happening in Pandæmonium? Creations interred with Asphodelos have been set free and stalk its halls to no end but violence. Yet something has gone terribly wrong. Try as we might to hold the line. The chaos within is overwhelming. I hardly recognized that I had become separated from my colleagues. I remember a chorus of whispers assailing my senses, and afterwards, only flashes of rage and fury. Then blackness, from which I awoke, to find that whatever had overcome me was gone. Forgive me if I misunderstand, but do you mean to rescue the warders and creations both? Naturally, although they may be dangerous, they're valuable research subjects. I wouldn't see our labor, our untold horrors of hours of study go to waste. I have, yes. My mentor was the previous head of this facility. That is to say, La Habrea's predecessor, in the position of Chief Keyword. Her name was Athena. I like that name. Greek gods are great. And she was a researcher with the wards. It was she who appointed me to this position, in fact. But of course, I can hardly expect you to be versed in the magics we use here. You recall, during our battle earlier, I bound you in ethereal shackles. Interment is more refined and powerful magic based upon the same principles. While shackles are meant to bind an object in place for a short time, interment freezes the very space around it for as long as the caster wields. Eric, you implied that what prevented you from performing internment was lack of magical capacity. What if I supplemented your power with my own? Would the spell succeed then? I agree, and I may have an idea in that regard. I recall seeing the hippocampus wandering the waterways during my fight. Perhaps it's still there. Few of the subjects housed within Asphodelos are fond of water, and I believe we'll be able to engage the beasts without fear of unwanted guests. See, there's circles, because this is hell. Nemesis' power was more than enough to complete the internment. Spellcasting was never my strong suit, but that almost made me feel like a proper magus. While our success in sealing away the hippocampus is certainly heartening, the fact that we have yet to see any other warders concerns me. The key word of us, Asphodelos, is nothing if not cautious. Doubtless he has gathered what warders he could and retreated to a safe area. Of course. A man named Hesperos is in charge of Asphodelos. Not only does he have the thorough knowledge of the creatures here, but he takes great pains to be a mentor to each of the warders under his charge. He has done much to ensure that I flourished here, in spite of my ineptitude at magic, and I have always known him to be the sort of man who faces difficult decisions with unwavering composure. Furthermore, keywards are not only masters of internment, they can also bend the hallways of Pandæmonium to their will with creation magics. With all this in mind, I am certain that so long as Hesperos guides them, the other warders are safe. The safest place would be the innermost circle of Asphodelos. From there, they could flee to Asphodelos if hard-pressed. The rub, of course, is that I myself possess no power to bend the circles to my will. Instead, we must proceed through the central corridor, which was barred by the Phoenix last I checked. Phoenix. I've heard that name before. Fiery bird with life eternal. Or a phoenix? What? What? That the Phoenix is shackled once more. However, there is yet the matter of this arena. As you've told us, there is but one person in Asphodelos with the ability and authority to wield such magics. Though fortunately, it appears he has saved us the trouble of finding him. A contemptible display, as befits an inferior specimen. Even so, I expected it would at least delay your advance. Imagine my surprise when I saw the chains of internment drag the Phoenix back to its cage. Either the bird is even more of a failure than its creators cared to admit, or you are no mean trespassers. You are no mere trespassers. God, there's some typos in this raid. I had hoped our suspicions were misplaced, but alas. Keyword Hesperos. Why? Why have you brought such chaos to your beloved Pandæmonium? What has possessed you? I don't understand. Oh, Eric, must you pester me with those inane questions? Think for yourself. Surely you can muster a theory or two with that dim wit of yours. Then again, you've never been one for insight. Why Master Lahabreus suffers your mediocrity, I shall never understand. You may look like him, but you're not the Hesperos, I know. Something has warped you too, from the inside out. My mind is clearer than it has ever been. Even now, seeing you feebly grasp for answers makes the bile rise in my throat. Such wasted potential. To be a son to the Master La Habrea, yet no more skilled with magic than a newborn babe. I wonder if Eric is our La Habrea, and not the one that is on the convocation now. But of course, it's always about La Habrea. Silence. You're not worthy to utter his name. For once, be grateful to witness a feat beyond your meager abilities, beyond your shallow reckoning. I have slipped the surly bonds of mortality. I have become one with our mythic creations, and rid myself of imperfections. I stand upon the threshold of godhood. As a Hemitheos shall I serve Master La Habrea, ever faithful to the end of days. Now we're being sealed. He shall require no other. Think not. Damn, Theus. Or Theseus? Theus? Themis, that's what it was. Are you still blinded by arrogance, that you've lost sight of what it means to serve? Eric is more capable than you could ever know. It was thanks to his instruction that I was able to master the art of interment. Both how to wield it, and how to break free of it. Castle, let us quit this place. Whatever poison has corrupted Hesperos' mind, it is plain his power far eclipses our own. We must have time to gather our strength. Weaklings though they may be, it takes a singular aptitude to master interment so quickly. Say nothing how swiftly that familiar laid low the Phoenix. Regardless, their noble aims will be their undoing. Where they fritter away their strength in calming the beasts of Asphodelos, I continue my work, even should they survive long enough to reach the heart of my domain. Naught shall await. Naught shall await them but doom. Creation of the ward which surrounds Pandæmonium was an astounding feat of magical prowess, a feat accomplished by none other than La Habrea. That both my father and I combined others in change is perhaps the only thing that we have in common. Ah, so it is true. I am La Habrea's son, bereft of his talent for magics or his brilliant mind, but his son nonetheless. Surely this doesn't come entirely as a surprise to you. It was La Habrea that taught me how to cast ethereal shackles. But that was it. My further education was overseen by the words of La Habrea, more specifically my mother, who was a researcher there. You did speak of Athena, chief keyword of before La Habrea. She is your mother, yes? Hephaestus. Which means La Habrea is probably Hephaestus. You have the right of it. Athena was my mother, and it was she who invited me to join her here. La Habrea had nothing to do with it. It was in place. My mother is no longer with us. and La Habrea was all too eager to assume her responsibilities, with nary a moment spared to mourn her. What love do I owe him now, when he offered not one drop of compassion then? We have yet to see the other warders. Judging by what we know, we can surmise that Asphodelos has confined them somewhere beyond our grasp. And now that he is aware of our presence, he will be preparing for our next encounter. We cannot expect to face him on equal footing. Quite the opposite, in fact. Every moment we spend chasing after the creations is another moment Asphodelos can contrive another advantage for himself. The wisest course would be to find him first and foremost. He said that he's become one with the creations. Perhaps that means he is vulnerable to internment. I believe I can shed some light on the nature of our foe. When Hesperos spoke with us, I noticed before he bore the telltale fangs of the Bricholacus, a beast which feeds off another of its prey. Likely that is the creation of Hesperos merged his essence with. And we know all too well that he can change the environment around himself at will. Battle will not be an easy one, but I believe in our victory. Now, Themis, we end this here. Fools, I will not be put in chains. Think that I would fall before one such as you. Perhaps I should have treated you as more than a mere nuisance. Despite your victory, you shall never have the knowledge you seek. The secrets of my transformation, the secrets of my deception, that shall return to the star with me. You're wasting your breath, Hesperos. We have the upper hand now. Surely you can see that. Yes. My repertoire is not exhausted yet. However, although I have failed, my end shall be on my terms. Okay, just committing seppuku. Remain loyal to the very last. Come what may, I die with dignity. How did your ambition lead you so astray, Hesperos? You were better than that. Your star shone more brightly than any other in Pandæmonium. You had La Habrea's respect, his trust. What more did you seek? That you would forsake all that and sully your legacy besides. But we spent enough time assuming the intentions of the departed. There are the living to consider. We must find the other warders and round up the remaining creations forthwith. Of that, at least, we can be certain. I believe I could be of help in that matter. The influence of Hesperos' magic is fading throughout Asphodelos. Now is the perfect opportunity to seize control of the facilities and restore things to their original state. Seize control? Can you really do that? Blitterbus is pretty freaking strong. For a child. What? What is this presence? Eric, what lies behind that threshold? That's the passage which connects Asphodelos to Abyssos. Why? Be on your guard, you two. Now that Asphodelos is free of obstructions, I can more easily sense disturbances in the lower levels. Something stirs in Abyssos. Boarding signal. How? Let's return to the gates for now. I should like to apprise the situation from there. Needless to say, our investigation is far from over. Is a stark possibility, yes. The root of this crisis may lie somewhere much deeper than even Abyssos. When we first encountered you, you said the memories of your escape were vague, and that your senses were muddled. I believe this was more than a result of a panicked mind. You were made to feel this way by a powerful magical influence. It's possible that this is the same magic could have poisoned Hesperos' heart, twisting his affection for La Habrea into a burning obsession. Then, in his altered state, he was made to offer a power he could not refuse. Wait, are you suggesting that someone else turned Hesperos into that thing? If so, it stands to reason that they wouldn't stop at him. However, much as I would like to hasten deeper into Pandæmonium, the way forward is sealed off. We must focus our efforts on finding a way through. You mean to send a report to La Habrea? It's too soon to say. Let us first find a way into Abyssos. It would be best to withhold our judgment until we have ascertained the whereabouts of the other warders and the identity of the party responsible for their disappearance. To that end, Eric and I shall remain here for the time being. Much as I enjoy your company, I do not believe we shall be needing protection so long as we remain in Asphodelos. Besides, you have someone awaiting a report on your progress, yes? I dare say your story will be much more than they ever imagined. So, I kind of think I know how this whole raid series is going to end. I'm still hoping for a Lavos type situation, because then that would kind of tie into Elpis being an analog for Zeal. But I expect either our next to last fight or our last fight is going to be against Hephaestus, which is going to be La Habrea. That would be my guess. Which would be really cool. But maybe he's trying to covet power kind of the same way that the Queen of Zeal was in Chrono Trigger. We'll see. So there's evil afoot in Pandæmonium. An already ominous place, I must say. Mythic beasts and missing warders. Truly, we are fortunate to see you return to us in one piece. Speaking of which, might you return the crystal into our keeping? While we cannot accompany you to the past, perhaps something can be gained by researching it further. Furthermore, if you ever wish to peruse the records of events you have reported here, Nimjinji has been taking faithful and thorough notes. She is completely at your disposal. So that's how we unlock Savage, is with her. We shall not rest until we have unlocked the mysteries of the crystal. And you will be the first to know when we do. Well, that is it. Let me know in the comments below what you thought. I have another video I'm getting ready to start work on, which is all the Greek references in this arc of Pandæmonium, as well as highlights of what might happening in the next two tiers. I've been doing a little bit of research, and it can get pretty crazy. But watch out for that. If you want to see it when it's released, be sure to subscribe so you will see that in your feed as well. There are links in the description below of this video to my Twitch channel and my social media if you want to give me follows there, as well as a link to my Discord channel if you want to be part of the daily community. But with that said, I'll see you guys next time. Take care.